guys, I'm Nakshit here. I'm going to talk about board meetings and its provisions. To keep it simple, a board meeting is referred to as a formal gathering of all the directors of the company to discuss various matters. All the directors of the company are collectively referred to as the board, who are responsible for setting the organizational objective, strategic decision making, and all other matters relating to the operation of the company or the conduct of the business. Important provisions relating to board meetings. The first board meeting is to be conducted within 30 days of the date of incorporation. Minimum of 4 board meetings is required to be held annually. In case if the company is one person company or a small company or dormant company, one board meeting in each half of the calendar year is sufficient enough. Time gap between two board meetings should not exceed 120 days. In case if it's a small company or one person company, the gap between two meetings shall not be less than 90 days. The notice. The notice shall be given at least 7 days before the date of the meeting. Quorum. One third of the total strength or two directors, whichever is higher. To talk about the chairman of the meeting, the chairman of the company shall be chairman of the board. If the company does not have a chairman, the directors may elect one among themselves to be the chairman. It is the duty of the chairman, with the assistance of the company secretary, to check if the meeting is duly convened and is constituted in accordance with the provisions of Companies Act 2013. In case of the equality of the votes, the chairman shall have a second or casting vote if authorized by articles of the association. If the chairman is interested in a business, he shall entrust the proceedings to any non-interested director with the consent of the majority of directors present. In case of a private limited company, he shall continue to chair the meeting after disclosing his interest. Who should attend the board meetings? The board meeting should be attended by all the directors of the company. The chairman of the company, he shall be chairman of the board. If the company does not have a chairman, the directors may elect one among themselves to be the chairman of the meeting. And the third person is company secretary of the company. These three people should attend the board meetings. The notice. The notice should always be in writing. Notice should be delivered to every director via hand or by speed post or registered office or fax or email. Notice should specify the serial number, day, date, time, and full address of the venue of the meeting. Notice should inform that the directors have an option to take part in the meeting virtually. In case the company sends the notice by speed post or registered post, an additional 2 days shall be added for the service of notice. More about the quorum. What is quorum? The quorum for a meeting is the minimum number of the directors whose presence is required to constitute a valid meeting. Any business transacted in absence of quorum is considered void, which is not valid. Quorum for a valid board meeting is supposed to be one third of the total strength or two directors, whichever is higher. Total strength. Total strength of the board meeting has determined by the Act after deducting there from the number of directors whose places may be vacant at the time. The interested director. Talk about the interested director. A director is said to be interested in a contract or an arrangement entered or proposed to be entered into the company with any body corporate if such director or along with the directors hold more than the 2% of the paid up share capital of that body corporate. If or he's a promoter or manager or CEO of the body corporate, or with the firm or the entity if such director is a partner, owner, or member of the firm or another entity. An interested director cannot be counted for establishing quorum at the time of discussion of the matter in which he is interested. An interested director cannot participate in any vote relating to the matter in which he is interested. However, the interested director can be present in the meeting during discussions of such items. In case of a private company, interested director shall be counted for quorum and is entitled to participate in the meeting after disclosing his interest. Important questions: who are exempted from attending board meetings? Except the board of the directors and persons required by the board, no other members are allowed to attend the board meeting. A director cannot appoint another person as his proxy to attend the board meeting. Is it mandatory to enclose an agenda for the meetings? No, it is not obligatory to enclose an agenda for the meetings in the notice. But it is a good secretary practice to do so. Can a board meeting be held on a public holiday? No, the board meeting should not be held on a public holiday unless it is mentioned in the Articles of Association. Can the directors attend the board meeting through a video conference? Yes, director can attend the meeting through electronic modes, that is video conferencing and other audio visual modes. If any director wishes to participate virtually, he should give sufficient prior intimation to chairman or company secretary to enable them to make the suitable arrangements. The director can also intimate his intention to participate virtually at the beginning of calendar year, which shall be valid for the entire calendar year. The fifth question: is there any time frame for the secretary to issue notice to the directors regarding board meeting? The secretary should issue a notice in writing to every director of the company at least 7 days before the meeting. The sixth question: what is the penalty for failing to give notice? According to subsection 4 of section 173, an officer of the company whose duty is to give the notice of the board meeting is liable to pay rupees 25,000 in case of failure. What is known as minutes of a meeting? Minutes are the official recording of the proceedings and the business transacted at the meeting. It must be prepared and kept within 30 days of the conclusion of the meeting. A company may maintain his minutes in physical or electronic form. Validity of passing a resolution by circulation. Passing of resolution by circulation shall be considered valid as if it had been passed at duly convened meeting of the board. What are required to mention the minutes of the board meeting? First one, the name of the company. Second one, the type of the company. Third one, the serial number, day, date, and venue of the meeting. Fourth one, the time of commencement of the meeting, and the directors present physically or through electronic mode, the company secretary, if any, in attendance. Confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting and committee meetings, if any. The name of the director who took the chair. The precise nature of actual business transacted and what was formally proposed and ultimately decided upon. Vote of thanks. Chairman's signature with date. What are the subject matters that cannot be discussed through meeting conducted through video conference? Approval of annual financial statement, approval of board reports, approval of prospectus, matter relating to amalgamations, merger, demerger, acquisition, and takeover. What are the points to be remembered whilst preparing the minutes of the board meeting? It should contain fair and correct summary of the proceeding that took place. The chairman may decide regarding the exclusion and inclusions of any matter in the minutes. The minutes, once prepared and signed by the chairman, cannot be altered or corrected, and it must be prepared in accordance with the provisions. The minute book shall be kept at the registered office and be open to inspection by any member without charge. Members shall be entitled to receive a copy of minutes within 7 days of request made in the prescribed manner and by paying a prescribed fee. 12th question: what will happen if the number of directors is less than number specified in the AOA, that is Articles of Association? Where the number of directors is reduced below the minimum fixed by the articles, no business shall be transacted unless the number is first made up by the remaining directors or through a general meeting. Thank you. This is about the board meeting.